One day after the German retreat begins, Japan attacks the American fleet at Pearl Harbor. Hitler is surprised. He has been trying unsuccessfully to persuade Japan to attack Russia from the rear. 4 days later, on December 11, 1941, Hitler impulsively declares war on America. America's vast resources will now be mobilized to defeat Nazi Germany as well as Japan. Hitler's act also sets the stage for a two-front land war, something that German military doctrine says must never be allowed to happen. Within a year, American bombers in England start bombing Germany. In June 1944, America and Britain invade the continent and drive inland, striking a significant blow to German strength and morale. In the first 3 months after D-Day, Germany loses 1.25 million men on the western and eastern fronts. By fall, after many costly American and Allied victories, American troops enter Germany from the west, and Russian forces drive into East Prussia from the east. As the war turns against Germany, a desperate Hitler calls for miracle weapons to save the Third Reich. The ironic fact is that he has them at his fingertips. This part of the story is an amazing one, and few people, even today, know about it.
Shut your guys up.
Yeah. So breaking at 11. Planes 9 o'clock coming around. Fire at 10:30 coming around. 10:30 upper and lower.
B-17 out of control at 3 o'clock.
Come on, you guys, get out of that plane. Bail out. There's one. He come out of the bomb bay.
What was that? What the hell was that? It went by like we were standing still. Blue leader to group. Get off the air. Going by at 2 o'clock. What the hell is it?
It was the Messerschmitt 262, the world's first operational jet fighter. It flies 150 miles an hour faster than our fastest fighters, 3 times faster than our B-17 bombers. Galan test flies the jet in May 1943.
Flying the 262 jet for the first time was quite a sensation. The sensation is like an angel is pushing in the air. The 262 was about 200 kilometers per hour faster than the fastest Allied fighter. And with this superiority in speed, we could neglect the fighter. And you got the sensation the fighters, the enemy fighters, are standing in the air like balloons. You went through them.
The Luftwaffe has found what it needs most of all, a new fighter so fast and so powerful, it can ignore American fighter escorts and shoot down the American bombers. With the Me-262, German pilots believe they can stop America's daylight bombing. But Hitler, who talks incessantly about the need for miracle weapons, doesn't recognize one when he sees it. Besides, he wants weapons built for attack, not defense. He says no.
And late in 43, it was shown to him in East Prussia. I was present. And this aircraft came on a low-level flight in front of him with high speed. And he said, I asked Messerschmitt, is this aircraft able to carry bombs? Messerschmitt, yes, my Führer, it can carry 250 kilograms, or 500 at least. And Hitler said, this is the Blitzbomber I've asked for since years. I give the order to build this aircraft only as Blitzbomber and to equip the bomber pilots with this aircraft. Of course, myself as general of the fighter arm, I did fight against this decision with all I could. I have asked successful fighter pilots like Steinhoff to fly this airplane and to talk to Hitler all the time and to try to convince him that this was the fighter we needed.
Forbidden to use the superplane that might have stopped America's bombers, Galland and his fellow aces rebel and are fired. Goering calls them mutineers.
I was planning to escape, but escaping was only feasible and possible to the east. And I didn't like these thoughts, and therefore I came close to the decision to suicide.
The German aces are not Nazis. Under military rules, German soldiers cannot belong to a political party. But they are highly disciplined warriors, and even the thought of mutiny is extraordinary. Johannes Steinhoff has 176 victories and is one of Germany's top aces. Later, he will become head of NATO's military committee. Steinhoff describes the state of mind that made the German pilots so eager to get the superplane that they risked being shot by the SS.
In the Battle of Britain, we were victors. We came after having conquered Europe as young men, fighting with sportsmanlike. When the Allied bomber offensive started, we were already, in a way, old men. We had experienced how Germans' fate went down, how we lost all the territories we had conquered, how our cities were destroyed, deeply depressed. We had seen how Hamburg was burning, how Dresden was burning towards the end of the war. So the attack against unit of flying fortresses was something like controlled suicide. If a formation of 1,000 bombers, by the way, something which will never happen again in history, the flights of the bombers in big formations. If you attacked a unit like this, you were breathing deep and your heart was beating. As the formation leader, you were the first one to attack. To lead a unit of fighters into an approaching bomber unit was a great art, at the right angle with the right speed. And you are flying an attack, a real attack against how many machine guns? Sometimes 50, sometimes 80 machine guns. They're firing at you. You're going to shoot down a bomber only if you're approaching at very near distance. In the last, let's say, 200 meters, you were tempted to close your eyes and continue and fire. Frightened to death. Frightened to death.
Finally, Hitler